When humanity needs to experience the unknown, they may never know what they'll meet, because it's unknown. A way to eradicate the evil of the world would create the real evil in our world. What? The gates of hell will open, and the undead dominate our lives. A great evil will be reborn to eliminate all of humanity. What's up, everyone? Today we are checking out Riddled Corpses, a twin-stick shooter by Daniel Fernandez Chavez and published by Diabolical Mind. Diabolical Mind seems to have primarily been a mobile publisher. There are a few games out on Android with a kind of similar anime aesthetic, but this is the first game of theirs I've seen on Steam. Let's take a quick look at our main menu here. We've got arcade mode, where we can tackle the game's 5 primary stages. Survival mode, as you would expect, hordes of enemies are thrown at you and you see how far you can get. In both of these modes, you persistently accumulate gold, which can be applied to our upgrade stats menu. Now, let's talk about our upgrade stats menu briefly, as it is probably one of the most important parts of the game. Maybe where it goes off the rails a little bit, depends on your opinion. So here we can see our first character, John. I've leveled him up quite a bit. He's at 19 right now. And Chloe, who I purchased for 2,000 gold. Every character except John has an inherent ability. Chloe's you can't see right now because I already purchased her, but her ability is to attract gold and items to you without moving over to collect them. Leary here we see he's got 2 times gold. Fail, 2 times life. And then the other characters, Erica and Nora, have their abilities hidden and are unlocked, not by gold, but by certain parameters we gotta meet. And here we can see these mystery items, a turret and a NK-1000, is that machine or machine? Now, I don't know what they do, as they're astronomically expensive, and it took quite some time just to accumulate the money to buy Chloe. And well, more on that later, you'll see. And just remember that it took about 2,000 gold to buy Chloe, and it'll kind of give you a sense of how the progression in the game goes. So, of course, we have online leaderboards, which are great. Always a nice addition. Quick look at our options menu. Resolution, auto fit to my screen. I don't believe there's a Windows mode, or I wasn't able to uncover one, so just be aware of that. Music and sound, we can turn on and off. Interpolation, which is a pixel smoother, I believe. It's horrible. Don't use it. And then scale 4 times, which seems to kind of zoom in, but it put the game outside the boundaries of my monitor, so that was a no-go for me. Alright, so let's jump in, shall we? I'm going to start with Chloe, just to give you kind of a sense of how the game plays when you're starting off. And you'll see we're really going hard with this arcade aesthetic here. Actually, the start button, other than back, is the only one that works in the menus. Alright, so before we get started with the stage here, before every stage you can purchase consumables. We've got our stopwatch, dynamite, a turret, which actually haven't tried, and a health pack, but more on the consumables as we get in the game there. So let's jump in. So you might already be able to tell right away, but Riddled Corpses has got kind of the classic twin-stick shooter going on. Left moves our character, right aims and fires the weapon. And you can already see Chloe's ability at work here with that gold kind of magnetized to me, which is great. You may already be noticing it takes a few shots to kill these guys. And I hate to break into it so early, but it's kind of one of my principal complaints of the game itself. Basically, your base damage is kind of so low to start that at some point you're just going to get overwhelmed by the enemy until you get strong enough to where you can kill them faster. Picked up a points item there. I don't think points have any bearing other than just leaderboard status. But yeah, it's the game sort of turns into a slog, almost a grind. You have to replay levels over and over just to get enough gold to power up to get further. So it's kind of an interesting irony, since you know, the dev was going for an arcade kind of aesthetic. And if you think back to coin-op games, like in the arcade, you play them over and over again, and you get better and better, and your skill is what allows you to get further and further in the game. Now here, my skill isn't so much about getting me further, although it does, but it's more about having enough damage to get through the levels. Let's take care of this car here. We got it. We got this. Oh, we got it. We can get this. There we go. So, you know, it kind of creates an artificial barrier, and as you see, because I was focusing on that car, I was starting to get overwhelmed a little bit. And, you know, I don't know how true that rings to co-op. There is local co-op in the game, but unfortunately I am a recluse and I have not had a chance to play with anyone. But from a single player perspective, the grind is real, and you better believe it. Alright, so I just picked up some dynamite, and I already have the stopwatch here. These are kind of two of our active items during the stage. The stopwatch freezes all enemies on the screen, and the dynamite clears out almost all enemies except the tougher ones can survive it, and it also destroys bullets, which gets important later as the game gets a little bit more bullet helly. And that's actually something that's, I think, is pretty cool. They sort of mix the twin stick shooter with the little bullet hell-esque thing going on. You can see the super authentic pink bullets, which means you're a real indie shmup from Japan. Oh, here we go. Alright, so I'm going to use an item real quick and try and save myself. So you can take about 3 hits. The game will occasionally drop medkits. And what's cool is you can actually overcharge your health a little bit. So if you pick up a medkit at full health, you can save it until you get hit, or it kind of takes hits for you. Alright, it's time. I'm going to fire this bomb. Nice. That was pretty satisfying. Alright. Oh, goodness. That was terrible. Alright, so we're starting to meet the end of our rope here, but I got another stick of dynamite. Hopefully it'll pull me through. Oh, that was close. Oh, man! Alright, gotta use it. Too dangerous, too dangerous. So, presentation-wise, you know, the pixel art is passable. You know, it looks alright. Not my favorite. The game's got sort of a cluttered UI, or just the screen gets cluttered, and Chloe's helping that out a little bit because her magnetize ability takes those gold pickups off the screen really quickly, but you'll see later in when I'm playing with John how they can kind of fill the screen and clutter it. And also the UI gets in the way a little bit. And smartly, the dev released in a patch the ability to make it disappear for us. But unfortunately that makes it so I can't see my consumables or my health, which is unfortunate. So, you know, it gets in the way a bit, let's be honest. Oh, snuck through. Also, he's got this kind of strange fog of war effect going on this stage. I'm not really sure what the deal with that is, but fortunately it's only on the first stage, at least that I've seen. It is not on the second stage. And it's really strange and kind of, you know, is a detriment to the overall presentation. Alright, so we got pretty far. I think we got about, what, like 600, 1200 gold there, I think. So, let's apply that to upgrading John here. So, looks like we maxed out John. This guy has got the maximum range of damage. So, hopefully, he will be able to tough it out and get us through these harder levels here. So it should be noted, I had to play for several hours just to make John strong enough to beat that first stage. But now that we've got John beefed up, let's head into stage 2 here and see what we can do. And so, yeah, it's the levels are varied from what I can see of the 2 I've seen. But it's definitely a nice change of pace from that dark, grimy city. And it's unfortunate because I had to play stage 1 over and over and over again before I could even get far enough or strong enough to beat it. And I think, you know, if he decided that he was going to kind of introduce this persistent gold kind of grind for strength and mechanic, I think it would have made sense to kind of do a Mega Man thing where you can pick any stage to start with. Because it really helps relieve the monotony of seeing the same level over and over again towards the beginning of the game. But man, we are just tearing things apart here as John. Now, hopefully, because I'm strong enough, oh goodness, we can get pretty far here, but I have not been able to get too far in this level. Oh goodness. Just move and shoot. Just move and shoot. I wish I could destroy this guy. This giant skull thing really bothers me. Oh no! Man, we got destroyed there. Alright, so I'm going to play mouse and keyboard. We'll do survival mode just to give you a sense of how that's going. I try to switch on the fly between mouse and keyboard. The game doesn't seem to like that too much, so I'm going to start it survival mode with mouse and keyboard. So you can see the cursor kind of appears on the screen, and you know the gameplay is just fine like this, although they do recommend the gamepad, and I prefer it in these kind of games. Also, I couldn't seem to get rid of the mouse cursor. It's showing up on the screen on top of the game right now. Just a little weird, but you won't see it because of the recording software. Man, John is wrecking house now that he is super powered. So I don't know. It kind of depends on your perspective on whether the gold mechanic is a bad thing. I mean, the dev even talked about thinking of decreasing the level up costs for the main character to help you progress faster. And you know, it's going to take some time for even me to just think about unlocking the other characters, like the one who gives 2 times gold, or the one who has 2 times health. And you know, who knows, maybe the stages get so difficult that they're like necessary to progress. But yeah, you know, one of the good things about having the level up mechanic and the kind of persistent gold thing is, you know, you really get that sense of progression which would be devoid in an arcade game. And also, you know, the store has these crazy items that are so expensive. I mean, I want to know what they do. I want to know what they are. And you know, that impetus might keep me going when otherwise I may have stopped playing. So, you know, it's a give and take, and it depends. Do you enjoy the game enough to overlook it? And maybe you're having fun throughout. So I don't know. What's my opinion on Riddled Corpses? It's an alright little game. It's only $7.99, so its price point helps it make an appeal to your wallet. Yeah, if you enjoy twin stick shooters and you're okay with grinding, I think you should check it out. I'll put a link to the Steam page in the description, of course. And yeah, thanks for watching. We're doing alright here. We're gonna keep going.